Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sizzle, and if you haven't seen any of my videos before, I am a light worker doing energy readings and card readings on YouTube to help fellow light workers on their path. And I actually just recently started this channel. I have 3 subscribers. Yay! I'm so happy. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you guys like my content, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And let's get into it. So I actually just came home. I was on the road and I did some groceries and I saw the full moon come out. Well, actually, it's not full moon yet. We have to wait till Saturday, but she's pretty close and she's so beautiful, and I could already just start to feel that energy coming. The full moon is going to be on Saturday, as I just mentioned. It's the second full moon for this month, making this a blue moon. And this special moon on the 31st of October is also known as the Hunter's Moon, because this is the time of year that animals and humans start stocking up on resources to survive the winter. Although our evolution has pushed us a bit past that part. But anyway, I can definitely feel that energy in the air of just, even in the supermarket, I was just like stocking in big, like need a backup to survive for a while. This full moon is going to be a mini moon because the moon is very far away from us at the moment, but we shouldn't really notice that difference on Saturday. So you may be aware or you may not be aware of the fact that full moon energy can already be felt around the full moon. Sorry, that's my puppies. Well, that's one of the two. I have Sasha and Stitch, a Shih Tzu and a Maltese, and they're like 5 months now, and they're so cute. They're always playing together, and sometimes they make noise, so sorry for that. So as I was saying, the energy of the full moon can actually already be felt 3 days in advance and 3 days after the full moon. So it can definitely make sense if you're already feeling that energy and that vibe coming too. So full moon in Taurus, yay! I love Taurus. Taurus energy is the energy of getting things done, taking the bull by the horns. Hi, Sasha. You want to say hi? This is Sasha. Oh, she's so cute. Okay. So I welcome that Taurus energy. I have my Jupiter sign in Taurus, so for me, it's all about business, moving forward with my ambitions, getting things done. Maybe being a bit stubborn sometimes, like a bull, but sometimes you need to in order to have that resilience to keep on going. So I was driving home and I was watching this movie and I was like, oh, I can feel the energy. I need to do a reading. And for the past few days, I've had kind of like subtle hints giving me that vibe of ancestor communication, that ancestors maybe have something to say for us. So I said, let's just hop in front of the camera and do a quick reading and see what the cards have to say for us. And after that, I gotta go finish packing my groceries and do my evening routines and stuff. But I hope all is going well with you guys, that you're having a great week, that you're being productive and having fun, and above all, that you're happy and that you finish the week with a bang and have an awesome weekend. We still have a few more days, Thursday, Friday, before we have the full moon. So if you're doing any manifesting at the moment, it's best to do that when the full moon is developing. So in the first 2 weeks, that's the time to go hard with setting your intentions and taking actions in according to those intentions. And then after we've created or manifested what we want, which is symbolize them with the full moon, which then starts to slowly decrease afterwards. That's that time for a rest and recuperation and reflection, revisiting how things went and what was done and what you would want to do differently, so that you can hop back on the cycle after the full moon, with the next new moon to come. Sorry. So manifest towards the full moon. After full moon, it's time for rest, reflection, and relaxation. Up until the new moon, actually. Then the new moon is where we have our new beginnings, your new start, the race starts again. And manifesting will be most powerful at that time. Okay, so I have my shamanism deck out. Here we go. I think I'm going to pull a second one, this one. Okay, so if you've seen my previous videos, my decks are all in Dutch, and what I do is I just look at the card and see what I feel, the energy, and I read the book. Well, I translate it for you guys in English. So the first card that came out just now, ancestors, voorouders, wijsheid, wisdom. So what is that saying? I mean, this card is just beautiful. Look at that. Do you see all those faces of the people who've lived before us, the lives that have lived before us? And I'm seeing like Indians, like Native Americans. I'm seeing like African descent, Indian descent, Caucasian. It's like a mix of everything, and it's like they all come together, you know. And isn't that what it actually is about with life? It's one single life is just a bead in a chain, and every life that is lived by a soul is another bead added onto that chain until they've experienced all of that is the experience in Stitch. In that perspective, where then the soul can evolve and move on to a higher level. So like, for example, you can have a soul that is on the level of lower conscious beings, such as animals, for example. So you might live many lives as a soul in such a being, in such a physical form, until the lessons that you've wanted to learn are complete, and then you kind of graduate and you move on to the next. So like Earth is a school. It's a school for souls, and they come here to follow the courses that Earth offers, the experiences that Earth offers. These challenges are typical for here, this place and time, and souls come here to experience that, and to know that that's actually what it's about. It's through experience, gaining that knowledge of those aspects of, for example, what is love, what is justice, what is inequality, what is poverty, what is all of these different types of, what is health, what is lack of health, you know, and all can be gained for the greater good. Anyway, let's get back to the card. So ancestors, wisdom, first card. Show it to you again. And then the second card, which was the bottom card. And it says, Klokken en belletjes afweer. Klokken en belletjes. So it's a bunch of little bells tied around a tree. I want to say like tree of life. Tree of life comes to mind when I look at this. But it's not really a tree, actually. I think it's an antler. Yeah, it's an antler. Oh, my dear. And there's all little bells attached to it. Actually quite relevant with all of the Christmas spirit coming around the corner already. I mean, I don't know how it is for you guys, but here we already have supermarkets selling or other stores selling all kind of Christmas stuff. And I'm like, really? It's October. Really? But yeah, end of the year is almost here. Okay, let's do a quick reading of what the cards were meant to say by who made it. Voorouders 110. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to read everything. Just take it as it comes. What resonates for you is meant for you. What doesn't, it's not. Don't try to make it fit. I know it can be difficult because when you're listening to a reading and it's like you're trying to understand what's being said and related to yourself. And sometimes it's, you know, you easily like fill it in like, oh, is that about this person or that person or is that now this situation? And then you like, you're trying to make it all fit like a puzzle, which makes sense because we want like a rational, logical story. But it doesn't always work like that. And sometimes it's actually just little bits and pieces that were specifically meant for you and cannot be advised for in one field, but also for multiple fields. You can be getting messages in one reading. So let's start. So our ancestors are our spiritual, here we go, what's everyone? Our spiritual family members. They are the ones that went before us and to a certain degree have shaped the life that we live now. They've created it. They set the path. And they're asking you to honor them, to honor your ancestors, to keep their memory and their spirit alive and to thank them. Ooh, I'm just getting goosebumps reading this. This is so true, you know. Take like a practical example with feminism. Sometimes I think about the fact that my grandmother didn't go to school. School was not really for girls at the time. And, you know, if it was school, it was like a homemaking school, you know. My mom, she actually did get to like pursue her education after high school. And she did college. And I went to the university, and my sister as well. But put us back like, what to say, 50 years in time? No more, 60, 70 years in time. That would have been so unconventional. And it's because of the women that back then who protested and fought for the right to have education and equal pay and the right to be able to buy a home without having a husband or a parent or father co-sign for you. Like, you couldn't get a loan as a woman. You couldn't get a job as a woman. It was... I like watching movies and series on that time just to remind me of the contrast of how things really were back then compared to now, where women have total freedom and independence. Not everywhere, but a lot more than in the past. And it's something we shouldn't take for granted, you know. It's something we should maybe sometimes take some time to sit and reflect about that and show gratitude for that. Sasha, what are you biting on? Just give me 1 second. Okay, good. Okay, let's continue. So our ancestors are asking us to keep their memory and their spirit alive. Maybe make an altar for them. I'm going to do that. Especially dedicated to your ancestors. Burn a candle, burn some sage, some incense. I think it's typically Western culture to not be that in touch with your ancestors. If you go more towards the East, there's a lot more respect for the people in our families who've gone before us, you know. So let's bring some more of that back. Oh yeah, here it goes. So a lot of cultures around the world do this, and by following this tradition, you will become part of this timeless connection with your ancestors, and which will allow them to share their wisdom with you, and it'll make it easier for them to help you on your spiritual journey. So yeah, that's like, why would we not have that, right? It's awesome. They're ready to help us. They're watching us, they're seeing us, they're praying for us, that we continue on that path and that we have a good life and honor this planet. You can put flowers on the grave of a loved one and thank that person, that ancestor, for the skills or the talents that they've given you. You can make a small altar with some pictures of loved ones of the past as a way to honor their memory, and light a candle. Okay, I already said that, but the book is saying it now too. So when you honor those that were here before you, and when you can understand their ways, it will help to let go of pain, generational trauma. The connections with your ancestors are healing, and they can give you the opportunity to break negative patterns and embrace the freedom that your soul is begging for. So what does the soul want? It wants to be whole. It wants to be complete and wise with experience and knowledge. Call on the wisdom of your ancestors and honor yourself by not giving up. And be wise by following in their footsteps. Because they've lived before us. They have quite some experiences that they can share with us. You know, if you compare someone who's 10 to somebody who's 110, obviously the older person is much wiser and more experienced in life on earth. And they might have some tips and tricks to make it easier. But I want to emphasize this last sentence that says, so not only to call on the wisdom of your ancestors, but also to honor yourself and not give up in that, which is very coincidental. The not giving up makes me think of Taurus energy, the stubborn bull that keeps going and keeps pushing. So that's what this moon is bringing us. It's bringing us a heightened connection with our ancestors. As I said, the spirit world is most easily accessible on the full moon. So they are there. They will be there. They are there already because we're in the 3 days before the full moon. So they're there. They're your cheerleaders, rooting for you, standing there by your side. They're watching you. They have advice for you. They have wisdom for you. You just need to receive it. They have guidance. They can help you break negative patterns. And all of this is aimed at helping you grow and move forward in your path and your destiny. So our ancestors are here with us. They're watching over us. They're helping us. They're here to guide us. And we can get a better connection with them, so to speak. So we can upgrade from like a phone-in connection to like a Wi-Fi connection by actively pursuing that relationship, that bond with our ancestors, by making an altar with pictures or other memorabilia of your ancestors as much as you have. Candles, burn some sage. So just the fact that you take a moment every day to honor them with that altar is going to make it a lot more easier for them to communicate with you, because you're saying, hey, I'm open, I'm here, I see you, I honor you, I respect you, and I'm here to listen, to hear what you have to say. Great. Okay. It also has a little piece of text here saying that there might be some other meanings. So first of all, they're saying light a candle to honor you and remember your ancestors. Second, or other meaning it could be is that somebody from your past might be coming forward into your life. Third is research your family tree. Now, this is something that I've always been wanting to do, and I started with it once and then I gave up, but I would just love to be able to trace my family back on both sides as far as possible. It would be quite interesting. So if you've been thinking about that before, if it's been something that's on your mind or crossing your mind, then this is that little subtle nudge of your ancestors saying, hey, go do that. Other optional meaning could be that there's a specific loved one who passed away who's watching over you. I mean, this could even be a mother or father figure, or a grandmother or grandfather. You know, it doesn't have to go back centuries. But someone is there watching over you. You're not alone. Another optional explanation that might fit with some of you listeners, viewers, is a nudge to solve a problem from the past. So this is also going to be a good time for that. And the last other meaning that can be felt with this card is to visit an ancient land of your family. And doing so will give you answers that you seek. Fancy. So there's a lot of ways that you could take it, but it definitely all comes back down to our ancestors, their energy. They're here for us. They're here to guide us. They are watching over us. They are nudging us to solve problems from the past, or maybe visiting a country of where your family used to be. So like say if you have part African descent like me, well, I don't really know much about my father's side. My father's dark and my mom's light. My great grandmother was a slave. Yeah. And she came from the west coast of Africa, Ivory Coast, Ghana, we're not really sure, probably Ivory Coast. And so they came over the slave ships and then to the Caribbean. So there it got mingled. Anyway, we're not going to do this whole story now, but if you've also been interested in your family history or lineage, definitely get into that, look that stuff up. You know, there's websites nowadays and it's so easy to fill in everything. You could even send in like a DNA sample and see like who you match with all over the world. So like what parts of different ethnicities you have in your genetic code. Okay, so that was the first one, the first card. Ancestors, look at them. I can just see them all like a big group just watching from the spirit side, and they're like trying to help us and shine. No, don't do this. Yes, do that. And it's like we can't really always hear them, but it's a connection that we can work on. We can improve that. So this is your encouragement to do so. Make that altar. Open, get that guidance. And the second card. So, wait. I feel like I need to go back to the past one because something else is coming into this. Also, it's not only about being open and receiving that guidance, but also I feel like taking action and making change and doing that in line with what has been done before you, so continuing on forward in that push, that drive for, we should work on how we do this or how we do that, so that we can shift the future for future generations that come after us. Because, as things are going right now, we don't really have that many decades left before, it's just going to be total mayhem on this planet due to climate changes on one end, and then the political atmosphere globally. It's not something to be happy about. There's a lot of people nowadays that are choosing not to have children because it's we're going to have children, and then 20 years from now, what is the world going to be like? What kind of world will they live in? They'll be there to have to deal with all of the mess that we made and the generations before us made. So it's a tough time, but what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the breaking of negative patterns. Yeah, so it's not only wisdom that they have for us, but really have healing powers to help us let go of negative patterns that often have existed from before us. That's just family cycles that finally can be broken. Okay, let's move to the second card because I'm giving a whole lecture here. Cloaking and Bellin. 55. I hope it's making sense for you guys so far. I really do. Okay, cloak and embellishes. Okay, so shamanistic tribes use the sound of little bells to fend off evil spirits and negative entities and any um, danger that might be on its way. They ring them loudly and they draw their attention, but the person who is handling the little bells is completely still. So yeah, I can imagine if you see this, then they have like a deer antler, and they've just dressed it with a bunch of bells, even like the small little tiny bells. You know, like I could just see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in this. Yeah. So could you imagine being a shaman and having this like amazing antler, and then you're just like wrapping it in bells and just shaking it, and just until you get into a complete trance. You know, you're not saying anything, you're not doing anything but shaking that bell, and that rhythmic sound that'll definitely get you into a trance. So the book continues on with saying this is probably not the right time to do any public speaking or to put any attention on yourself. Mm-hmm. Remember, attention is supposed to go to the bells. So this is like diverging the negative entities and evil spirits to look at this instead of the shaman or the person who's doing the ritual. So in such a way, we are being encouraged to not be loud and drawing everybody's attention. Oh, I feel like this is so for me right now. So yeah, it's like zip it, quiet, zip, zip. Keep your thoughts, your intentions, and your ideas to yourself to prevent that you become the center point of critical eyes who might have negative energy or jealousy or just not want you to achieve that. And okay, I'm just going to take a little detour here because I feel like I've been struggling with this specific point of advice that they're giving about being quiet, about what your goals or dreams, what you're achieving. You know, if you go, there's often motivational quotes saying the same thing, you know, like that you shouldn't tell anybody your next move, your income, or who your lover is, for example. And I've kind of felt like, okay, let's experiment with that. Okay, if I do tell people about my dreams and aspirations, I have noticed that they often then do not come to fruition. And for some reason, they just stop. And I did feel and regret in the sense that, you know, if I'd waited with telling anybody, you know, maybe it wouldn't have worked out either, but then it wouldn't have been such a loss of face, and maybe it would work out if I hadn't told anybody. Or is it this whole psychological thing with, like, you know, telling anybody because you believe that then it's going to be safe and thus you manifest it in that way? Okay, I think I'm overthinking it right now. Let's go back to the book. So, once again, this is not the right time to be speaking in public or by putting any attention to yourself. Keep your thoughts, your intentions, and your ideas to yourself to prevent that you become the center point of critical eyes, is what they call them. So people can be jealous or critical or doubtful of your capabilities. Cherish a dream. I mean, even your mom can do that. I have a little bit of a jealous mom. And I just like, sometimes when I tell her things that's like dreams and aspirations, sometimes it's easy for her to be mom and be supportive, and sometimes I could just feel like, it's like, okay, anyway, let's stop, because which mother doesn't want the best for their children, right? So yeah, not everybody could have the best intentions for you. Cherish a dream or a plan by protecting this against any unwanted influences and drama from the outside. Gossip and everything that has to do with that is not right for who you want to be. Sort of gossip and talking behind each other's back is negative energy, you know? The alarm bells are wrinkling, and your suspicions are confirmed. Something is being hidden, and you are intentionally being kept from the truth. Okay. It asks a lot of courage to walk away, but you have to get rid of all your negative energy because it's taking your time and your energy. It's like slurping it up like a milkshake. Be well aware of your thoughts in your subconscious mind, because these can also generate unwanted energies. So let the bells and whistles bring your vibrational energy to a higher level, so you will not only strengthen your shamanistic capabilities, but you'll also make sure that you'll be able to keep distance from situations that or people that no longer have a place in your life. Don't forget that words, thoughts, and actions ripple like water. So yeah, you can't take them back. Okay, any other meanings that can be felt or sensed with this card? So some of these or none of these, or all of these may also be relevant to you. Let's see what resonates. For me, I feel it in my heart chakra, like that positive energy glow, or a clear sentience experience that you just know that's from me, or this is how I should interpret it. It starts with saying it's time to clear your space, which is definitely not a bad thing to do around this time of year. We're going into winter anyway, so burn some sage, get rid of all of the negative energy in your home or your workplace, and choose your words wisely and carefully. Be aware of all of the actions that you're taking, and take distance from a current situation that requires some distance. Pay attention to the signals that you've been ignoring. Ooh, that's a deep one too, because we've been ignoring them for a reason. Alright guys, that was it. 2 cards for today. Day 1 of the pre-full moon energy. We have our ancestors screaming, yo, we're here, listen to us. We're going to help you, guide you, we're going to teach you, we're going to help you heal. We want to watch you step into your path, the path that we started, and we want to see you finish it. We're here for you. Honor us, remember us, don't forget us. We're still here, we still exist. Their energy is still there. It's just not physically manifested in a materialistic form like our bodies are, or the body that they once had. And then the bells. This one is calling to your inner shaman. It's saying, go inside and be aware of your thoughts, your words, your actions. Be aware of the situations that you associate yourself with. Be aware of the energies around you. Clear the energies. Clear your space. Clear your home. Clear your mind if you need to by taking distance from certain situations. And above all, be very careful with what you say and what you do in public, around others, what you tell people about your dreams and aspirations, don't. Don't tell them. Just keep it all to yourself. Like you're a hen with your eggs and you've counted them and they're all there and you're taking care of them, you're keeping them warm, but you're not telling anybody that you got eggs or how many you have or when they're due, because you need to protect yourself. You want this to happen and to manifest, and you don't want energies of other people working against you, trying to bring you down when you're trying to vibrate your energy higher. So be aware of that around this time, the next coming days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is a full moon, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's like the time that we're going to be feeling these energies the most, and that you can be working with these energies the most effectively. Alright, I hope you guys liked it. See you next time. Bye. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.